Do you believe in what everything the news tells you? Do you believe in who reports it, what's being reported, who's involved in the situation that's being reported? If so, why? I believe that in the news media, there are a lot of racial undertones within the news that they report. And I believe that it's what fuels the racism within our society and how people judge, not just me as a black person, but many races in society. And here's my examples and proof to show why. So for this topic specifically, I will focus on sports media, specifically soccer, because it's a much more knowledgeable topic for me. Manchester City star Raheem Sterling faced a lot of has faced a lot of racial coverage from the media. On December 9th, 2018, he had, after his 2-0 loss to Chelsea, Manchester City star Raheem Sterling had faced a racial incident from a Chelsea fan who had called him a black monkey. Yes, that's over the top. And he said in an Instagram post the next day that he's not surprised and he doesn't expect anything less as the media fuel these stereotypes to the public. He posted a picture of 2 articles from both of players who play for Man City and both players who are young and up and coming through the Manchester City Academy. One player, Phil Foden, had bought a house for his mom, same as the other player, Adebayo, who had bought a house for his mom as well. Both of these houses cost the same price, yet for Phil Foden, who was a white man, it was seen as such a beautiful thing to do for his mom and to show that he's preparing himself for the future. Whereas for Adebayo, it was seen as something not necessary, as he hasn't even played a game yet. He's wasting his time instead of trying to get more games for Man City. And it's kind of crazy how they can show how they can provide these 2 examples and change it up, even though they're doing the exact same thing. Once again, which proves the racial undertones. Another example is when Manchester City star, again Raheem Sterling, was training for England duty to go to the World Cup, and he unveiled a new tattoo of a gun on his right leg. This gun was the weapon that was used to kill his father, and it represented the promise he made to himself when he saw his father die at 2 years old in Kingston, Jamaica. The promise was that he's never going to touch or see a gun ever again in his life because of what he saw happen to his father at such a young age. But the media, once again, had scrutinized him for having that tattoo. He has so many young followers. He's a role model. Sterling is from London and grew up in London, and there's a lot of gun and knife violence in there. And so because of that, they think that Sterling is promoting gun violence in London, even though he had explained what the tattoo was meant for. And because of that, they were scrutinizing him, saying he should not be part of the England squad. He should be getting kicked out. That's a disgrace. It's embarrassment to England. How can you have a player like that representing our country with a tattoo like that? And once again, racial undertones being portrayed in the media. Finally, Manchester United star Mason Greenwood and once again Manchester City star Phil Foden were kicked off of England duty around this summer. And that is because while they were in Iceland training with England, they had snuck back to their hotels with 2 girls. And these 2 girls could have had the coronavirus. And so because of that, the England coach took no chances and sent both of them home because they had breaking COVID-19 rules. And now, because of that, Foden, although he made a mistake and was criticized, he was let off easily as if nothing had happened to him. But Greenwood, however, ever since then has been called lazy in the media, has been seen as showing up late to training, has also been seen by the media to say that he was been drinking at night. They even accused him of a rape, and in the story, if you read it, it says that a Premier League footballer had committed rape, but that footballer was 20 years old. And just because Greenwood's black, they're putting all of this thing on top of what happened in England. Whereas with Foden, they've left him alone. They criticized him and left him alone. All in all, the racial undertones in media are shown in these examples that I've given you. And I just want to ask you one last question. Do you believe in the news and who says it and what is in there?